A few years ago, Genesis launched as a standalone brand with the G80, G90, and G70 sedans. While all of those cars were well received, there was one major problem. The US market is in love with SUVs and not sedans. Genesis is looking to fix that problem with this, the 2021 Genesis GV80. The GV80 looks to bring back true luxury and design to the segment. So in today's video, we're going to go for a drive with the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80 and see what it has to offer. We want to give a huge shout out to the folks at Genesis of Columbia, South Carolina for letting us spend some time with this 2021 Genesis GV80. Genesis of Columbia, South Carolina has a great selection of new and used vehicles. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, be sure to check out the folks at Genesis of Columbia, South Carolina. It's incredible how quickly the Hyundai Motor Company, which includes Hyundai and its subsidiary Kia, has established itself as a leading automobile manufacturer. Much like Honda did with Acura in 1986, Toyota with Lexus, and Nissan with Infiniti in 1989, that lineup now includes the standalone luxury brand Genesis. As all three of the Japanese brands did over 3 decades ago, Genesis made its launch with the debut of luxury sedans. However, unlike 3 decades ago, consumers are much more interested in crossovers and not so much sedans. So it was only a matter of time before Genesis had to hop into the crossover segment. And just like other brands in the Hyundai Motor Company, Genesis isn't holding back. This new GV80 isn't looking to be some dressed-up Santa Fe. It rides on a unique Genesis rear-wheel drive platform with optional all-wheel drive. Forget Lexus and Acura, one look at the GV80, and it's clear that the company is aiming its sights even higher. For a fraction of the cost, maybe it's Bentley that should be worried. There's undoubtedly some of that ultra high-end luxury styling in the GV80's design. The one we have here is a 2021 Genesis GV80 3.5T all-wheel drive Advanced Plus, painted in Vic Black. Genesis calls the design language athletic elegance. It all starts up front with the massive crest grille. It's no secret that the automotive industry has fallen in love with large grilles, and not every manufacturer does it well. But Genesis pulls off the look, and it will certainly catch your eye with the G-matrix pattern found throughout the company's design. The V-crest shape continues into the hood with 2 accent lines wrapped around the Genesis symbol. On the lower part of the bumper is more of the G-matrix pattern and the cruise control sensor. There are air vents at each corner of the lower bumper. The LED headlights come in a stacked design that gives this GV80 a distinct Genesis look. I like the way Genesis extends the dual light design into the side of the vehicle. This setup provides the GV80 with a distinct light signature that stands out especially at night. There's a strong accent line that runs from the front of the GV80 deep into the side. It adds a squareness and edge to the design that gives the GV80 a regal appearance. In this 3.5T Advanced trim, the GV80 comes with 20-inch wheels. 19-inch wheels are standard, and 22-inch wheels are available on the top-of-the-line 3.5T Prestige trim. Wrapped around the bottom of the GV80 is a strip of chrome. Genesis uses just the right amount of chrome to give the GV80 a strong appearance without feeling gaudy. The chrome trim works well in contrast to the black paint of our vehicle. The side mirrors get power folding, and there are satin chrome roof rails. In the rear, the strong accent lines continue, giving the GV80 a very muscular stance. The taillights also get the signature dual light design. The Genesis name is spelled out across the rear bumper with badging for the model and trim. The Genesis crest exhaust outlets add a touch of style. Overall, the styling of the GV80 is refreshing in a segment that is filled with straight angry lines and overly aggressive designs. The Genesis GV80 lives up to its athletic elegance design language and takes its luxury intentions seriously. Getting into the GV80 can be done using the key you see here. In addition to locking and unlocking the vehicle, the key can also start the GV80 remotely. However, our favorite feature is the remote parking assist. If you can imagine trying to get into or out of a tight parking space, Genesis allows you to do so with the remote. If the vehicle is locked, you can then use the key to start it remotely. Once running, if you are close enough to the GV80, you can press and hold the park forward or park reverse button to move the crossover. You do have to be standing nearby to make it work. The first time I tried it, I wasn't close enough and was confused about why it wasn't working. I think it's a cool feature. You may not use it much, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You can also get into the GV80 by pressing the button on the door handle.
Alright, hopping into the Genesis GV80, and first impressions of this interior are wow. Genesis has really come out swinging with this new vehicle. A lot of brands like BMW, Audi, and even Lexus to a certain extent really place sporty design over luxury design, and there's none of that here with this vehicle. There's no carbon fiber or angry straight lines. Everything in this vehicle is very airy, light, elegant, and refined. Of course, the build quality is top notch. There's so much soft touch leather, stitched leather on the dash, the steering wheel, of course, on the doors, and this open pore wood is a really nice design. There's aluminum, and even the way they designed the steering wheel says that this is a luxury vehicle and not something looking to head to the racetrack. And that's refreshing for this class of SUV, because if you truly want luxury first and foremost, your options are pretty limited because, as I mentioned, brands seem to prioritize sporty or racy design over luxury design. And it's great to see that Genesis is all in and dedicated to making the GV80 first and foremost a luxury vehicle.
The interior of the GV80 is a masterclass in luxurious restraint, sophistication, airiness, and simplicity. The leather, wood, and aluminum pieces are all combined to give this interior a luxury layout that rivals and in some cases surpasses what you will find in brands that have built luxury vehicles for decades. In its first outing, Genesis has hit a home run. The center dash is dominated by Genesis' wide and short 14.5-inch touchscreen. It's beautiful to look at, and we found it to be extremely easy to use. The interface is sensitive to touch inputs, and the graphics are smooth and quick. There are buttons on the center console and a scroll wheel that also control the menu screen. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, and Apple CarPlay at least looks excellent on this widescreen. In the middle of the dash are controls for the climate, combining touch-operated and physical buttons. There are also controls for the heated and ventilated seats and heated steering wheel. Genesis does a great job of balancing physical buttons with the touchscreens. In terms of connectivity up front, the GV80 has USB and 12-volt ports and a wireless phone charger. Further back on the center console are controls for the transmission. Turning the wheel will select reverse, neutral, and drive. To put it in park, you press the P in the center of the knob. To the right of the transmission controls are controls for drive modes, the parking camera and sensors, hill descent, and the locking center differential for the all-wheel drive system. All three of the selectors are finished in what looks to be glass construction. There are two cup holders underneath the open pore wood finish. You can view the gauge cluster from the driver's seat that includes an analog speedometer and gas gauge, and a digital gauge for the tach and menus. The GV80 comes with side view monitoring that displays a video image of the vehicle's side when the turn signals are activated. The range-topping 3.5T Prestige trim does come with a fully digital cluster with a 3D effect. Ultra-soft leather wraps the steering wheel. It's thick and pleasant to hold. The wheel has a unique two-spoke design that may be love it or leave it for some. On the left and right sides of the wheel, are typical controls for media and cruise control functions. Behind the steering wheel are paddle shifters, and the end of the wheel stalks have a brushed aluminum pattern. There's plenty of this aluminum diamond-shaped accenting for you to admire while sitting in the GV80. The seats themselves are ultra comfortable and pretty advanced, with 16-way power adjustments for the driver and 12-way power adjustments for the passenger. Finding the best seating position can certainly be done. And just so you know that Genesis has your back, the driver's seat has been approved and recommended by several organizations that focus on healthier backs. The ErgoMotion driver's seat has 7 air chambers that will inflate to add stability to your back and help increase posture. It's not an actual massage function, but can feel similar to a kneading massage. The seats will also adjust the ergonomics to the GV80's drive mode. Comfort will self-adjust the seat to make side support less pronounced. In contrast, Sport mode will firm up bolstering for more stability during aggressive driving. Overall, the seats are well designed and comfortable. There's a good amount of space in the center console and glove compartment for storage. There's also room for storage and a cutout underneath the center console with an additional power supply. The GV80 Advanced Plus has LED interior lighting and a panoramic sunroof. At night, the interior comes alive with colored ambient lighting. Second row passengers luxury level is on par with the first row with comfortable heated leather seats and climate controls. Connectivity options are 2 USB ports and a 115-volt outlet that can be useful for charging laptops and other devices. The center armrest folds down and has cup holders. The door has built-in sunshades, and as I mentioned, the door quality is just as good as the front row, with plenty of leather, wood, and aluminum trim. The second row seats are adjustable and can recline for a better seating position. Moving the seats forward to get into the third row is easy to do using one of the 2 buttons on the second row seats. Getting into the third row will be a bit more of a challenge for adults, but should be reasonably doable for younger children. The space in the third row is quite tight, again for adults. Still, the third row's material quality is surprisingly good, considering most third rows often receive low-quality materials. There is a storage space for items, climate control vents, and brushed aluminum accents. We do wish Genesis would have included in the third row access to at least 1 USB port. Getting into the rear cargo area can be done via the powerlifting tailgate. Using these controls, you can raise and lower the third row seats and lower the second row seats. There are also controls on the inside that allow you to raise and lower the third row seats. Under the floorboard is more room for storage, a place to hold the cargo cover and the battery. To give drivers more control in the third row are 2 features that we found handy. First is the ability to control the third row seats from the center touchscreen. You can lower the headrest as well as lower and raise the seats. The second feature is Passenger Talk, which allows for your voice to be projected from the front of the vehicle to the rear so that those in the back can better hear passengers up front.
Can you hear me? How do I sound?
Overall, we found the interior of the Genesis GV80 to be classic luxury, with enough technology to keep things interesting. The Genesis GV80 has a push-button start. Let's press the button and start it up. The Genesis GV80 3.5T comes with the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 that makes 375 horsepower and a healthy 391 pound-feet of torque. An 8-speed automatic and a rear-wheel drive-based all-wheel drive system get power to the ground. Driving the GV80 puts its luxury goals on full display. It's not looking to drag race sports cars, instead it's looking to make you forget about the outside world altogether. That doesn't mean the GV80 with this 3.5-liter V6 is slow. It can run to 60 miles per hour well into the 5-second range. And while the 8-speed automatic isn't lightning quick, it reacts with urgency when you call for additional power. The steering leans slightly on the heavy side and tightens up even more when you put the GV80 into sport mode. As you would expect from Genesis, there are many standard and optional safety features and driver's aids. These include a smart cruise control system and lane keep and follow assist. The Highway Driving Assist 2 feature will maintain your lane and distance from the vehicle in front of you and even helps change lanes. The heads-up display is very bright, large, easy to read, and provides tons of information. Road Preview is another excellent feature that uses the GV80's front camera to scan the road ahead and automatically adjust the suspension to prepare for any imperfections in the road. The top trim 3.5T Prestige takes things a step further with noise cancellation for the interior. It's called Road Active Noise Cancelling and acts like noise cancelling headphones for the entire interior, making crossovers equipped with it capable of being ultra quiet. With a total price under $67,000, our Genesis GV80 as equipped undercuts similar products from BMW, Mercedes, and Audi by thousands of dollars. In the case of Mercedes and BMW, similarly equipped vehicles cost over $10,000 more. When you factor in how much the GV80 costs and how much standard equipment you get for that cost, it's hard not to argue this crossover is an absolute winner. We love the luxury design of the GV80 and think it has a comfortable and stable ride that will certainly keep you relaxed during long trips. The fuel economy could be better. BMW and Mercedes have slightly better numbers, but it's not bad for a 5,000-pound vehicle. Genesis' 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty is also a great addition to an already great crossover. In its first outing in the luxury crossover landscape, Genesis is positioning itself as a top contender for anyone looking for luxury, style, and technology. With the upcoming Genesis compact crossover, the GV70, which looks to be just as stunning as the GV80, Genesis is on a roll for a company born just a few years ago. We are undoubtedly excited to see what the future has in store for the brand. So if you're in the market for a mid-sized luxury crossover that offers all the goods with a manageable price tag, then the 2021 Genesis GV80 should be near the top of your list of vehicles to check out. Thanks again to Genesis of Columbia, South Carolina, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also find us on Instagram at rideXdrive.